All right. I wanted to show you guys a little tool that I've been working on in the last couple of days. I mean, like on and off. I was working on other projects as well. And it's still, I would say, more of an MVP, but it does work, occasional timeout errors, but actually, when it works quite well. And so what this thing does, I think it could be quite interesting if you're in SaaS and if you're quite sales led, or if you do a lot of ABM marketing, this could be quite interesting. So essentially, I'm going through a lot of job ads and job descriptions, and I'm parsing the text, and then I'm extracting structured data from them. And as you can see here, I think it stopped running now. I think it's done, but I was looking for DevOps positions in Graz in this case. And I'm getting structured data. I'm getting who's hiring, their URL, the title, right? Pretty standard stuff, location, but like what's really interesting is jobs to be done. So I'm like kind of instructing the AI in this sense to extract like responsibilities and like tasks from this job, and then translate it as jobs to be done, which could also be translated to a product. So because they put out the ad because they have demand to hire somebody, right? And then work needs to get done. But they put it out as a job offer for candidates, but it could also mean there's work that needs to get done. So why not a product or service? So I'm extracting these jobs to be done, salary information, and then also their tech stack. So tools that are mentioned or frameworks that are mentioned in this thing. So you see here, I'm extracting all of this from the job ad, just so that you know. I mean, it's Indeed that I'm using here. So you have all these job offers, and let's just open one here, open a new tab. This is like perfect. There's some convention on how to write these, right? But it's not structured or standardized in any way. So there's no like standardized order of information or like a clear JSON that you could get out. But you can parse the text and then essentially instruct the AI with a function. I'm using a function I will show you in a second, to then give you the information that you're looking for. And then you have it in a very structured way. In this case, it's a Google Sheet, but it could also be, an Airtable, a CRM, whatever, to actually get this out. And then this is what I'm getting out from the job ad. And then here, the HS prefix you see, I figured it's quite interesting. HubSpot does have this HubSpot Insights. So just to show you quickly, it's basically their enrichment service. So if you shoot up a domain into HubSpot, they will give you all sorts of information that they have. Probably they're using a third party for that, but they give you that. And it's even in the free plan. So you have it for all products and plans. So I'm just shooting that up into my free HubSpot account, getting it back with all the information. And then in this case here, just pulling it into the Google Sheet. So I'm getting even technologies from HubSpot. I'm getting the about, right? I'm getting industry. I'm getting address. I'm getting city, country, LinkedIn page, Facebook page. I mean, employees and revenue is mostly bullshit, but it's there. And then the phone. And then just to show you how that works, like super brief, I have this query builder here. Which is the tab. Just move my video here. So I have this query builder where I'm basically just putting in a keyword or a job title, right? In this case, I looked for DevOps Graz. Could even filter down by when it was posted and language. And then I'm building this link with the formula. And then I literally just hit start scraping. So if we can go, it takes a bit until it starts running, but I would say scrape now, yes, and I start scraping. And then there's a script running that sends a webhook. And then I have 4 workflows. So I built it in Make, and now it's running. So oh, that's not what I wanted to do. So let's go back in. So there's 4 workflows. The first one just goes through the list of job postings and extracts just the first page and all the individual posts. If we see that again, come up in a second. Oh, come on, let's jump to the second one for now. So this one goes through the listings, right? It goes through and then basically just shoots a webhook or basically calls that webhook here of workflow number 2, which then goes through the pages as long as there's a next page button visible. So it handles the pagination. It goes here, next page, right? It calls it again until it goes to the last page. And then it basically, I'm storing them in this data store within Make for now so that I don't have to write it back and forth in the Google Sheet. And then the third one basically goes through each and every one. Now it's extracting, you see here. By the way, I'm using scraping bee for the proxies, which is fantastic. You literally just have to care about nothing with proxies. So I'm extracting the data, I'm writing that in the store, and then I'm calling the functions, which is essentially where we pass the information from the job description. But so yeah, one workflow calls the other one. I realized Make even has a standard module after I built this, but basically I'm making an API call to the webhook of the next workflow. And then the last one, it looks massive. It is massive, but it's quite repetitive here. So essentially what I'm doing with this one is I'm just giving it, I don't know if I can see that here. No, I would have to stop it. Let's just stop it. It doesn't matter. What I'm doing is I'm setting variables and I'm giving it instructions. And I figured I could use the function capability of OpenAI, where it's basically you give it specific functions. And this is probably not how you want to do it because I'm almost brute forcing it to extract all the properties that I want. It would probably be better to have multiple functions sequentially and just one thing that you extract, but it does work. So I'm saying extract the description, in this case, the about the company text. I'm saying extract the tool set that they use, extract the jobs to be done, extract domains, and so on. So you can just pass all that. And then the good thing is you get structured JSON data back, which you can then store, right? And then now I paused it, but the end result is really that it writes it back in a very structured form. And you can definitely use this information if you're reaching out to these companies, because you have basically a very concise version of what they're trying to achieve by hiring that person, right? What the main responsibilities are. And you could then upsell them a specific product or, a specific service. Might not mean that you replace the person to be hired, most certainly not. But you do have a very, very good information on how to approach these companies. So I will continue working on this, maybe make the front end a bit nicer, maybe store it in an Airtable. And again, maybe split out the functions into separate functions and not forcing it to extract everything in one go. But this is like very cool because again, like these, you could parse through the text as well without AI, but then you would look for certain patterns and stuff. If you don't have them and kind of everyone writes it like they want it to, right? Most of them use bullet points, but even the headings, some of them write your task, your responsibilities, what we want you to do, stuff like that. So it gets kind of tricky, but with the function calling capability of OpenAI, it gets really interesting to get that data out. So just wanted to share it. Would be cool if I could get some response from you guys if you want me to continue working on this, because I can improve it, I think. Again, it occasionally throws some errors, but would be interesting to see if there's some demand because otherwise it's just a fun project. But yeah, just wanted to share. Sayonara.